back to another quick review Thursday, where we just quickly review a film that comes out on Thursday.
There you go.
Anyway, I'm your host, Jonathan A. Moody, and I'm with
Paul A Presenza, otherwise known as the Moo Cow.
Moo. So we're going to be talking about the film Judges, directed by Stephen Patrick Walker and starring DJ Perry, Paul Risopo. I don't know if I could.
I'm not sure.
I think that's how you say it. And then Terry Jernigan, of course. Sean Doherty, Trent Brock, and Russ Stein are the main people. There's a bunch of other great characters, and we'll get into
a lot
all
of fun characters.
Yeah, there's a lot of fun characters. As you said, when you were watching, because this is your first time. So what'd you think?
Yeah, I liked it. It was interesting. It had a vision, and it stuck with it, and it worked. You know?
It worked.
It took some chances, but I liked it. It was good.
It was definitely a different. Well, it was like a modern Western.
Right.
You know,
but modern Western set in Virginia Beach.
Yeah, so it was modern Eastern.
Right.
Western Eastern. kind of
but
thing.
with all the familiar tropes of a Western. That
spaghetti
you
Western.
You would recognize.
And so we were watching it in the beginning, and the first thing Paul notices is the computer.
Yeah.
You know, and so obviously it wasn't set in Western times or whatever and whatnot.
Right, it's not a 19th century Western.
Which was
modern Western.
Smart because they're, it's more difficult to do all of those things. But if you kind of incorporate the modern stuff, but just make it sound and feel like a Western.
it's like it didn't matter. You know, they just went with it anyway, and it worked.
Exactly.
Yeah, they had this vision. They stuck with it. It was consistent, and I liked it. It worked out.
So the main characters were like Buddy Colt, or his real name was Jack Creed, but he went by Buddy Colt. There was Sonny King, the main villain. The barber, which is basically his assistant, who also takes care of everybody. Iron Joe Pirelli, who's a boxer and has an iron jaw, literally. And then there's Danny Strong, who has long hair, and
he's the Samson character.
And then there's Lila, played by Cara O'Brien.
Lila Wolf.
Who was basically Delilah.
Right.
If you say Samson, there's Delilah. So I thought that was pretty cool. Let's see, there's Father Kane, played by Russ Stein, and those were basically those, other than Sonny and the barber, the other four were the judges, and they were a group of people. I guess there was a group before them that would take care and protect the town,
like vigilantes
that would come and take care of the town, and there's a new group of now this is a new group that's coming to basically take over.
The Moo Cow would have fit in.
You wanted to have your own.
Yeah.
You wanted to be part of that. You be your own judge. As we were saying, like you said that you asked me before this thing started if I would if there was another movie or something, like they did anything else with this.
Yeah, it would have been cool.
They did a comic book, I believe. It's actually you can actually see some of this stuff on the extras and whatnot, but aside from that, really nothing much.
Oh, it would have been neat. I would have liked to have seen more.
Yeah. There's Irish Pat Kelly, played by Oscar Quembo. He was a
Cam Bao, I think.
Cam Bao. He was a
It says he was Filipino.
He was Filipino, and he was but he goes by the name Irish Pat Kelly, which makes everybody laugh because he's definitely not Irish.
But it makes me stand out.
Yeah, definitely, it makes him stand out. Yeah, that's what he said. Penny Strong was played by Lynn Kelly, and that was one of your favorite characters.
Sweet.
Yeah, she was a sweetheart. Then there's Blackjack Mulligan, who's there for like a minute.
And the Aphrodisiac.
Yeah, and that was the guy who runs the place called, I think, the Aphrodisiac or something like it.
The temple. They said it's called
temple.
Yeah, he's the Aphrodisiac. He ran the temple.
And the temple was a bar that basically was also
a brothel.
A brothel.
Yeah.
You know,
As you did back then.
back then, no, really, like what, a few years ago.
2010.
I think something. I think
Virginia
it's
Beach.
got to be 2010 to 2013, maybe. I don't know, something in that range. We'll know when we put the thing up, but it was that range period of time, and you can sort of tell. I mean, it's got a little bit of a flair to it. As I kind of said, it felt very El Mariachi, Desperado, Robert Rodriguez style, which was nice. Nothing wrong with that. It's just we also saw. I think it was for we did Hell Ride for Patreon only, and this is a much better movie than Hell Ride. And Hell Ride had like a similar like style where it was like a movie that sort of felt like it was supposed to take place back in the day, but really took place modern. And so they didn't. This movie is much better. They actually. It seemed like they had a lot of fun.
Yeah, they definitely had fun playing their characters. That was very interesting, and I like how everybody sort of had their own style, and a lot of them are sort of throwbacks to spaghetti westerns and characters from that.
Who's your favorite judge?
I think I liked Iron Joe the best.
Really?
Yeah, he was cool. I liked him.
I don't know. I for some reason I really like Buddy Colt a lot too, because he's just the kind of strong, silent kind of guy,
Right.
Very
Clint
Eastwood, man without a name kind of character, and I like that. I thought he did a great job. DJ Perry did. He also, like I said, he co-produced it. They're filmed in Virginia, in Virginia Beach, I believe, like Newport News, other places. I mean, you didn't recognize much.
Barber was good too.
The Barber, yeah, the Barber was amazing. Terry Jernigan I've worked with, and he's such a nice guy, but he's also a really good actor, and he had fun. Like, you could tell, like, when he got into it. He probably like brought a lot of his own stuff to it. Iron Joe brought like a toothpick that you said kind of made him
and the curved knife.
Cool. Yeah, and things to stand out. And of course, Danny had the long hair and whatnot. When he got it all cut off, he had no strength, and everything. So that was nice. Like, nice little
except for
touches.
one last little bit.
Yeah, well, he had to ask his higher power for that,
As you do.
So there you go. There's really not much else to say about it. I don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah, it's kind of like a standard Western revenge flick.
I just would say I would recommend people. I know it isn't on any streaming platform at this moment. We watched it on DVD. I bought the DVD. Well, I bought the DVD. I've never owned it before, so this is my first time actually owning it, which I'm very happy to have it. But I actually absolutely love this movie, and I had a lot of fun with it. So.
Did you say this was his first film?
I think so.
Nice.
I want to say this was Stephen Patrick Walker's first feature, but once again, he had a team with him that seemed to know, and a lot of executive producers. People put in money and put in work on it.
Was he the guy that played Blackjack?
There was a guy named Patrick Walker. I'm not sure if it's the same. I don't think that's him. I think that's either a relative
or a bunch of walkers in there.
There were. And I'm not sure. If that was the director, that would kind of make sense. Because he was in it for he got to be in it for a little bit, but not like throughout the whole movie,
right.
Or whatever. So it was kind of nice. I did like Blackjack. I thought he was a great, fun character. But once you saw once I heard it, because I hadn't seen it in forever. So once I heard the guy say Blackjack, and then that guy pops up, I go, "That's Blackjack. That's gotta be him." And that was the thing. Like, people would say people's names, and then you would see them,
And I liked that there was a lot of very arch dialogue that would have fit in sort of like those kind of rough characters in the Old West, but it was still set in modern times.
It's like you wouldn't really say that stuff today.
It still worked.
But it worked. Yeah, it didn't seem unnatural. It almost felt like, okay, we're in a Western, but we're in modern times with cars driving and
very
computers.
Over the top.
Yeah.
But
instead of horses, we got cars.
Right. It was cute.
It was a cute little movie. I really enjoyed it. I was hoping Paul would agree because, you just never know. Sometimes I think, oh man, you're gonna love this movie 8 days a week, and the movie fails on epic proportions, and we're just like, oh no, let's never ever watch that movie again.
Yeesh.
But this movie, I think you'd watch it again.
Yeah, I would. I liked it. I like a movie that swings for the fences, even if it misses terribly. But this one actually did a pretty darn good job, I think.
Yeah.
Especially for a first-time indie.
I
can't ask for more than that.
I think they should do a sequel for sure.
Yeah.
Cool. Even if it's like 20 years later or something, just do another sequel because these are, these characters are fun, and I would love to see more stuff with it. But I don't know.
Well, I mean, the reason for Buddy Colt coming back at all, and him going into the wilderness to lose himself, that's gone. So they'd have to come up with something else.
Right. Yeah.
So.
They'd have to have a reason for him to be back, or whatever. But he'll be with Iron Joe. That's how they left, So I would love to see him and Iron Joe come back and, take over another, help take another town. I mean, that's fun,
right,
to me.
Right.
So, I don't know. Sequels are fun. And there were, I'm not going to spoil anything, but there were deaths in it that worked for the movie, you know.
Right.
And I don't want to spoil anything just because not a lot of people have heard of this movie, or whatever. And I just don't want people to see this and they go, oh, well, I don't want to go watch it, because please go watch it. We're telling you this is a lot of fun, and you're just going to be like, oh man, I'm digging it. Or it could have been a cool TV show.
What did you think of the villain?
I thought Sonny King was fun.
Mm-hmm.
He was, we talked about it before. He kind of just doesn't, at first he kind of doesn't do anything,
He's one of those villains that just talks too damn much.
And he just lets other people do his dirty work. And then later he starts getting his hands dirty.
Because he has to, because he's running out of assistants.
Yeah, he's running out of lackeys or whatever, flunkies, whatever you want to call them. So, after a while, he has to go and do his own shit, and he can handle himself, I think. So I like that. I like the preacher guy, Father. What was his name? Father.
I forget. Still leaking.
Father Kane.
Kane. There's
King and Kane, and there's Father Kane. I really liked him. I thought he did a great job because he was the one who organized the whole thing, but he didn't want to do anything. He thought he was just too old and he can't, he wouldn't be able to handle it or whatever. And so I really liked that. The clerk was kind of funny. The guy who, was just watching TV on the, at the motel instead of didn't want. Yeah. Even though nobody's checking, he was kind of like Clerks, kind of felt like that. I think that's why
he's supposed to be there today.
Yeah, so he's just like, I don't even want to. He's Randall, more like Randall, where he's just like, I don't want to work, I'd rather piss off the people who come in and stuff than do that. So I don't know. There was a lot of really cool stuff in it. I would highly recommend watching this if you get a chance.
Yeah, it's very cool.
And
something different.
Yeah, I got it on eBay, but
something
I'm sure it's
different,
on Amazon.
At the same time, also very, very familiar, because this plays, like I said, with a lot of very familiar tropes.
Spaghetti westerns and other stuff. So it's definitely got its own style, and that was a lot of fun. And it reminded me a lot of like Robert Rodriguez El Mariachi, because El Mariachi wasn't a typical real western, but it's a Mexican western.
Yeah, it reminded me of a couple other movies. I can't remember titles anymore. I have to write them down in advance.
So anyway, that's it, I think, right? Is there anything else you wanted to hit on? But we would definitely recommend it. Go check it out and let us know what you guys think if you get a chance to see it. Hopefully one day it'll be on streaming, like on Tubi or something.
There you go.
So,
Judges, baby.
Judges, baby. So, see you later.
Bye.
Bye.